In 1981, a devastating event occurred that would later unravel into a complex and controversial legal case. The central figure in this story is Alice Sebold, who at the time was an 18-year-old freshman at Syracuse University. Sebold's life changed drastically one night when she was assaulted while walking home through a park near her campus. This incident not only marked a personal tragedy for Sebold but also set in motion a series of events leading to a contentious legal battle. The early 1980s, when this crime took place, was a period marked by evolving attitudes towards crimes of sexual assault. During this era, there was increasing awareness and activism surrounding such crimes, yet the legal system often struggled to address them effectively. Victims frequently faced skepticism and a lack of support, and the judicial processes were not as victim-sensitive as they are in more recent times. This societal and legal backdrop plays a crucial role in understanding the complexities of the case that followed. The crime against Sebold led to a police investigation, but the challenges of the time, including limited forensic technology and reliance on eyewitness testimony, significantly impacted the course of this investigation. In the subsequent trial, these factors, coupled with the societal context of handling such crimes, would contribute to a verdict that decades later would be called into question. Understanding the context of 1981 is crucial in appreciating the nuances of this case. It was a time of transition in societal attitudes towards sexual assault, with increasing advocacy for victims' rights, yet still hampered by numerous challenges in the legal system. This backdrop sets the stage for the complex legal journey of Anthony Broadwater, whose life became inextricably linked with Sebold's following her identification of him as the assailant, an identification that would later be scrutinized and challenged, leading to a dramatic turn of events many years later. In the aftermath of the assault on Alice Sebold in 1981, the search for the perpetrator led to the identification and arrest of Anthony Broadwater. At the time, Broadwater was a 20-year-old Marine Corps veteran, whose life would be irrevocably altered by his entanglement in this case. Broadwater's path to becoming a suspect in the case was marked by a series of events and decisions that later became points of significant controversy. The initial identification process began when Sebold encountered a man she believed was her attacker, 5 months after the assault. She reported this encounter to the police, which led them to Anthony Broadwater, who happened to be in the vicinity at that time. The identification process that followed is a critical aspect of this case. Sebold identified Broadwater in a police lineup, but this identification was fraught with complexities. It's important to note that Sebold initially did not identify Broadwater as her assailant during the lineup. She picked another man. However, she later indicated Broadwater as the perpetrator in court. This discrepancy in identification raised questions about the reliability of eyewitness testimony and the psychological pressure victims may face during such procedures. Further complicating the matter, the forensic evidence, particularly hair analysis used in the trial, was later discredited. At the time, microscopic hair comparison was a common forensic technique, but it lacked the precision of modern DNA analysis. This evidence, combined with the identification made by Sebold, played a pivotal role in Broadwater's conviction. The arrest and subsequent conviction of Anthony Broadwater brought to light several critical issues in the criminal justice system. The case highlighted the potential for misidentification, especially under stressful conditions, and the limitations of forensic methods available in the early 1980s. These factors, intertwined with the societal and legal challenges of that time, set the stage for a conviction that would later be called into question, shedding light on the complexities and fallibilities of the criminal justice process. In 1982, the trial of Anthony Broadwater for the assault of Alice Sebold commenced, encapsulating a legal battle that raised significant questions about justice and the reliability of evidence. The trial proceedings were a critical juncture in this complex case, characterized by contentious debates over the evidence presented. Central to the prosecution's case was the eyewitness testimony of Alice Sebold. Eyewitness testimony, particularly in cases of traumatic events, can be profoundly impactful yet equally controversial. Sebold's identification of Broadwater as her assailant was a focal point of the trial. However, as mentioned earlier, the reliability of this identification was questioned, considering the initial misidentification during the police lineup. The psychological stress and trauma experienced by victims, alongside the suggestive nature of lineups, can sometimes lead to inaccuracies in identification. Another pivotal aspect of the trial was the forensic evidence. The prosecution presented microscopic hair analysis, a technique widely used at the time to match hair samples from the crime scene with the defendant. However, this method, lacking the precision and conclusiveness of modern DNA testing, has been criticized for its subjective nature and potential for error. The hair analysis in Broadwater's trial played a significant role in swaying the jury, despite its later discredited scientific validity. The combination of Sebold's testimony and the forensic evidence led to Broadwater's conviction. However, the trial and its outcome were not without controversy. The use of questionable forensic methods, the challenges surrounding eyewitness identification, and the broader societal context of handling such sensitive cases cast a shadow over the conviction. These elements, later scrutinized and reevaluated, were instrumental in highlighting the limitations and potential fallibilities of the criminal justice system as it stood in the early 1980s. Anthony Broadwater's conviction in this trial marked the beginning of a long journey of incarceration and struggle for justice. It set the stage for the critical discussions and legal challenges that would emerge years later as advancements in forensic science and a deeper understanding of eyewitness testimony reliability came to the fore. Anthony Broadwater's conviction in 1982 led to his imprisonment, a period that lasted 16 years marked by hardship, resilience, and a relentless pursuit of justice. Broadwater's life in prison was a testament to the human spirit's endurance in the face of adversity and the profound impact of a wrongful conviction. During his time in prison, Broadwater faced the realities and challenges typical of the penal system, but his situation was compounded by the burden of being incarcerated for a crime he maintained he did not commit. The psychological and emotional toll of this situation was immense. Yet, despite these hardships, Broadwater remained steadfast in his assertion of innocence. This unwavering stance in an environment that often pressures inmates to admit guilt, especially to gain parole, was a remarkable display of his conviction and character. Broadwater's efforts to seek justice and clear his name were ongoing throughout his incarceration. He filed multiple appeals, though they were unsuccessful. The legal system, particularly in cases of appeals, can be dauntingly complex and often unyielding, especially for those claiming innocence. Broadwater's attempts to navigate this system from within prison walls underscored the immense challenges faced by individuals in similar situations. Moreover, Broadwater's time in prison was spent in the context of evolving attitudes towards wrongful convictions. The 1980s and 1990s saw increasing awareness of the limitations of certain forensic methods and the potential for wrongful conviction, a societal shift that would later play a role in revisiting his case. Anthony Broadwater's story during these years is one of perseverance and hope against overwhelming odds. His ongoing fight to prove his innocence from behind bars highlights the difficulties of challenging a conviction and the need for systemic reforms to address potential miscarriages of justice. This period of his life, marked by struggle and resilience, sets a poignant backdrop for the eventual re-examination of his case. In the narrative of Anthony Broadwater's wrongful conviction, the difficulties he faced in challenging his conviction within the legal system are a significant and revealing aspect. This part of Broadwater's story sheds light on the broader implications for the criminal justice system and the issue of wrongful convictions. Challenging a conviction in the legal system is a daunting task, often fraught with legal complexities and procedural hurdles. For Broadwater, as for many in similar situations, the path to overturning a wrongful conviction was filled with obstacles. The appellate system, which is designed to review and possibly overturn wrongful convictions, can be incredibly challenging to navigate, especially for those without substantial legal resources or expertise. Broadwater's multiple appeals were met with rejection, reflecting a system where proving innocence post-conviction is often far more difficult than establishing guilt in a trial. The case also underscores the broader implications for the criminal justice system, particularly concerning wrongful convictions. Broadwater's story is a stark reminder of the potential fallibility of the justice system. Issues like the reliance on discredited forensic methods, the complexities surrounding eyewitness testimonies, and systemic biases can lead to wrongful convictions. Such cases highlight the need for reforms in various aspects of the judicial process, including better legal support for the wrongfully accused, improved forensic standards, and more robust procedures for reviewing convictions. Furthermore, Broadwater's case brought to the fore the social challenges related to wrongful convictions. These include the stigma faced by the wrongfully convicted, even after exoneration, and the psychological and societal impacts on their lives. The case also sparked discussions about the need for compensation and support for individuals who are exonerated after serving time for crimes they did not commit. In essence, Anthony Broadwater's struggle to overturn his wrongful conviction illuminates the challenges within the legal system and society in addressing and rectifying such profound injustices. It emphasizes the importance of continuous scrutiny and reform in the criminal justice system to prevent and remedy wrongful convictions. In the unfolding story of Anthony Broadwater's wrongful conviction, a significant element is the release and impact of Alice Sebold's memoir, Lucky. Published in 1999, this memoir detailed Sebold's harrowing experience of assault as a college freshman and the subsequent trial of her alleged attacker, who was Anthony Broadwater. Lucky provides a deeply personal and vivid account of Sebold's trauma and the challenges she faced in the aftermath of the assault. The book takes its readers through her journey of recovery, the emotional and psychological struggles, and her experience with the criminal justice system. This narrative, while offering a poignant and courageous account of a survivor, also inadvertently cemented Broadwater's identity as the perpetrator in the public's mind. The impact of Lucky on public perception of the case was profound. As a best-selling memoir, it not only brought widespread attention to Sebold's story but also to the conviction of Broadwater. In the eyes of the public, the narrative presented in Lucky was seen as a factual account of the crime and the trial, further solidifying Broadwater's guilt. This perception persisted for years, even as questions about the validity of the conviction began to surface. The memoir, with its vivid portrayal and emotional depth, played a significant role in shaping public opinion. It highlighted the challenges faced by survivors of assault and the complexities of navigating the aftermath, both personally and legally. However, in doing so, it also inadvertently contributed to the ongoing narrative of Broadwater's guilt, a narrative that would only be challenged and re-examined years later with new revelations and a re-evaluation of the evidence. Alice Sebold's Lucky thus stands as a powerful narrative that had a significant impact on both the personal lives involved and the public perception of the case. Its influence underscores the power of personal narratives in shaping public opinion and the complexities that arise when such narratives intersect with the legal and judicial realms. The pivotal turn in Anthony Broadwater's story, leading to his eventual exoneration, began with an unexpected development: a producer's interest in adapting Alice Sebold's memoir, Lucky, into a film. This interest set in motion a chain of events that would ultimately lead to a profound re-examination of the case and Broadwater's conviction. As the producer began delving into the story for the adaptation, inconsistencies and doubts about the conviction surfaced, prompting a more thorough investigation into the case. This led to the involvement of a private investigator, whose role became crucial in uncovering new evidence and challenging the existing narrative. The private investigator, hired by the film's production team, embarked on a detailed review of the case, scrutinizing every aspect of the evidence and trial proceedings. This re-examination brought to light several critical issues, including questions about the reliability of the eyewitness testimony and the forensic evidence used in the trial. The investigator's work was instrumental in uncovering the weaknesses in the case against Broadwater and highlighting the potential miscarriage of justice that had occurred. One of the most significant aspects of this re-examination was the focus on the forensic evidence, specifically the hair analysis that had been used to convict Broadwater. Advances in forensic science, particularly in DNA analysis, had rendered the hair comparison techniques used in the 1982 trial obsolete and unreliable. The private investigator's efforts led to a retesting of the physical evidence using modern DNA technology, which failed to link Broadwater to the crime. This new evidence, coupled with the re-evaluation of the trial's proceedings and the identification process, formed the basis for a legal challenge to Broadwater's conviction. The efforts of the private investigator, along with the legal team that took on Broadwater's case, were pivotal in bringing these issues to the forefront, ultimately leading to the courts re-examining Broadwater's conviction. The case review and exoneration efforts highlight the importance of continuous scrutiny in the justice system and the role of new technologies and perspectives in uncovering the truth. The involvement of a private investigator, spurred by a producer's interest in a film adaptation, became the unexpected catalyst for revealing the truth and correcting a long-standing injustice. The exoneration of Anthony Broadwater, after decades of maintaining his innocence, was significantly influenced by the advancements in forensic science, particularly in DNA testing and analysis. This re-evaluation of the forensic evidence played a pivotal role in unraveling the conviction that had defined much of Broadwater's life. In the original trial of 1982, the forensic evidence against Broadwater was primarily based on microscopic hair analysis. At the time, this method was considered a reliable form of forensic evidence. However, in the years since Broadwater's conviction, the field of forensic science has undergone revolutionary changes, especially in the realm of DNA analysis. DNA testing, which was not available at the time of Broadwater's trial, has since become a cornerstone of forensic science, offering a level of precision and reliability far beyond the capabilities of methods used in the early 1980s. The re-examination of the case involved retesting the physical evidence using modern DNA techniques. This retesting revealed that the hair evidence used to convict Broadwater did not match his DNA. The revelation that the hair analysis, a key piece of evidence in the trial, was fundamentally flawed, significantly undermined the integrity of the original conviction. The advancements in DNA testing not only provided the means to re-evaluate the evidence, but also highlighted the limitations and potential for error in earlier forensic methods. The case of Anthony Broadwater thus became a stark example of how forensic science can evolve and how its evolution can impact the justice system. It underscored the importance of continually reassessing past convictions in light of new scientific developments. The forensic re-evaluation in Broadwater's case was a critical factor that led to his exoneration. It demonstrated the power of modern forensic science to uncover truths that were previously inaccessible, and emphasized the need for the legal system to adapt and respond to these scientific advancements. This re-evaluation not only brought justice to Broadwater but also raised important questions about the reliability of past forensic methods and the potential for wrongful convictions based on outdated or flawed science. The exoneration of Anthony Broadwater in 2021 marked the culmination of a long and complex journey through the legal system, one that began with his wrongful conviction in 1982. This momentous event was not just a personal victory for Broadwater, but also a significant moment for the legal community. and the public, bringing into sharp focus the issues surrounding wrongful convictions and the evolution of forensic science. The legal proceedings leading to Broadwater's exoneration were initiated following the re-examination of the case, sparked by the planned film adaptation of Alice Sebold's memoir Lucky. The involvement of a private investigator and subsequent DNA testing played a crucial role in this process. The new evidence, coupled with the re-evaluation of the previous forensic analysis and eyewitness testimony, formed the basis for challenging Broadwater's conviction. In 2021, the case was brought before the court once again. This time, however, the narrative was different. The new DNA evidence conclusively showed that the hair analysis used in the original trial was unreliable, and Broadwater's conviction was based on flawed evidence. With this new information, the court overturned Broadwater's conviction, officially exonerating him of the crime for which he had spent 16 years in prison and many more years living under the shadow of being a convicted felon. The reactions to Broadwater's exoneration were varied and profound. Broadwater himself expressed a mixture of relief and sadness, relief at having his name cleared, but sadness for the years lost and the irreversible impact the wrongful conviction had on his life. Alice Sebold publicly apologized to Broadwater, acknowledging the pain and injustice he had suffered due to the wrongful conviction. Her statement also reflected on the shortcomings of the justice system and the impact of her memoir in shaping the narrative of the case. The legal community and the public reacted with a combination of shock and introspection. Broadwater's exoneration brought to light the critical issues of the fallibility of certain forensic methods and the potential for wrongful convictions. It sparked discussions about the need for reforms in the criminal justice system, particularly in the areas of forensic science and the review of past convictions. Broadwater's exoneration in 2021 was a watershed moment, highlighting the importance of continual scrutiny and advancements in forensic science. It was a reminder of the need for vigilance in ensuring justice and the potential for rectifying past wrongs, even after decades. The exoneration of Anthony Broadwater in 2021 not only brought closure to a decades-long struggle for justice, but also set in motion a period of reflection and reevaluation, both for the individuals directly involved and for society as a whole. For Anthony Broadwater, the exoneration was a bittersweet moment. While it cleared his name and vindicated his long-held claim of innocence, it also highlighted the irrevocable loss and suffering he endured. Broadwater's life post-exoneration has been about rebuilding and adjusting to a world that has changed significantly since his wrongful conviction. His case has raised awareness about the experiences of the wrongfully convicted and the challenges they face even after their release, including reintegration into society, coping with the psychological impacts of wrongful imprisonment, and seeking restitution for the years lost. Alice Sebold, on the other hand, faced a reckoning of a different kind. Her apology to Broadwater and the public acknowledgement of the role her memoir played in shaping the narrative of the case were significant. Sebold's experience highlights the complexities faced by survivors of assault and the intricate interplay between personal trauma, memory, and the justice system. It also brought attention to the responsibilities of authors and the media in portraying real-life events, particularly in cases involving legal matters. The broader implications of Broadwater's exoneration on society and the justice system are profound. The case has contributed to the ongoing dialogue about the reliability of forensic evidence, the fallibility of eyewitness testimony, and the systemic challenges in overturning wrongful convictions. It has underscored the need for continual advancements in forensic science and the importance of re-examining past convictions in light of new evidence and methodologies. Moreover, the case has prompted discussions about the support systems needed for those who have been wrongfully convicted, including legal, financial, and psychological assistance. It has also sparked a conversation about the impact of wrongful convictions on public trust in the justice system and the measures needed to prevent such miscarriages of justice in the future. In reflecting on the aftermath of Broadwater's exoneration, we see a complex tapestry of personal journeys, societal implications, and systemic challenges. It's a story that compels us to look closely at our legal system, our societal narratives, and the ways in which we seek and administer justice. The exoneration of Anthony Broadwater in 2021, stemming from a case that began nearly 4 decades earlier, reverberated beyond the individuals directly involved, casting a spotlight on the broader implications for public awareness of wrongful convictions and potential changes in legal practices and policies. The public awareness of wrongful convictions was significantly heightened by Broadwater's case. It served as a stark reminder of the potential for injustice within the criminal justice system, especially in cases relying heavily on eyewitness testimony and outdated forensic methods. The media coverage and public discourse surrounding his exoneration brought to the forefront the reality that wrongful convictions are not isolated incidents but a systemic issue that requires attention and action. This increased awareness has led to greater public support for organizations and initiatives dedicated to investigating and overturning wrongful conviction, as well as a deeper public interest in the mechanisms of the justice system. In terms of legal practices and policies, Broadwater's exoneration has prompted discussions and calls for reform. One of the key areas of focus has been on the reliability and use of forensic evidence in court. There is a growing recognition of the need for continued advancements in forensic science and for the legal system to stay abreast of these developments. This case has highlighted the necessity for regular reevaluation of forensic techniques and the establishment of more rigorous standards for the admissibility of such evidence in trials. Another significant impact has been on the procedures related to eyewitness identification. Broadwater's case underscores the complexities and potential pitfalls of relying on eyewitness testimony, prompting a re-examination of how such evidence is obtained and presented in court. This has led to discussions about implementing more stringent guidelines and practices to prevent misidentification, including reforms in police lineup procedures and the education of juries about the limitations of eyewitness accounts. Furthermore, the case has contributed to the conversation about the need for better support systems for individuals who have been wrongfully convicted. This includes not only legal support in securing exonerations but also post-exoneration assistance, such as psychological counseling, reintegration programs, and compensation for the years lost due to wrongful imprisonment. In essence, the case of Anthony Broadwater, while deeply personal and specific, has had far-reaching implications. It has acted as a catalyst for discussions and potential reforms in the criminal justice system, highlighting the need for continual vigilance, advancements in forensic science, and a commitment to rectifying and preventing miscarriages of justice. The exoneration of Anthony Broadwater has not only highlighted specific issues in the criminal justice system but has also spurred ongoing debates and discussions on broader topics such as eyewitness reliability, race dynamics in the legal system, and the role of media in shaping public opinion. Eyewitness reliability. The reliability of eyewitness testimony has been a subject of debate for many years, and Broadwater's case brought this issue into sharp focus. The challenges associated with eyewitness identification, particularly in high-stress situations or when there is a significant time lapse, have been discussed extensively in legal circles and psychological studies. Broadwater's wrongful conviction, partly based on misidentification, underscores the need for caution and rigor in using eyewitness testimony in criminal trials. This has led to discussions about improving identification procedures, such as reforming police lineup methods and educating juries about the potential fallibility of eyewitness accounts. Race dynamics in the legal system. Broadwater's case also brings to the forefront the complex interplay of race in the legal system. Discussions have emerged about the systemic biases that can affect the judicial process, particularly for people of color. The role of race in wrongful convictions, sentencing disparities, and the broader experiences of minorities in the criminal justice system are critical aspects of these discussions. Broadwater's experience has added impetus to the ongoing calls for reforms to address racial biases and ensure a more equitable justice system. The role of media in shaping public opinion. Additionally, the role of media in shaping public opinion has been a significant topic of discussion in the wake of Broadwater's exoneration. Alice Sebold's memoir Lucky and the subsequent media coverage had a substantial impact on public perception of the case. This raises important questions about the responsibility of authors, journalists, and media outlets in reporting on legal cases. The balance between storytelling and factual reporting, especially in cases involving legal proceedings, has become a crucial point of debate. There's an increasing awareness of the power of media narratives in influencing public opinion and, potentially, the outcome of legal processes. These ongoing debates and discussions, stimulated by Broadwater's case, are essential for the continuous evolution and improvement of the justice system. They encourage a deeper examination of the intricate workings of the legal process and highlight the need for ongoing vigilance, reforms, and education to ensure fairness and justice for all. After his exoneration in 2021, Anthony Broadwater embarked on a new chapter in his life, one marked by freedom but also by the challenges of adjusting to a world that had significantly changed during the decades of his wrongful imprisonment. Post-exoneration, Broadwater has been gradually rebuilding his life, a process that involves both personal healing and public advocacy. He has made several public statements and given interviews, expressing his relief and gratitude for being exonerated, but also emphasizing the profound impact the wrongful conviction had on his life. Broadwater has spoken about the emotional and psychological toll of spending years in prison for a crime he did not commit, and the ongoing struggles he faces in the aftermath of his release. In his public appearances, Broadwater has often reflected on his experiences, sharing insights into the challenges faced by wrongfully convicted individuals. He has become an advocate for justice reform, using his story to highlight the issues within the criminal justice system, particularly concerning wrongful conviction and the need for support systems for exonerees. Broadwater's life post-exoneration is also a story of personal resilience and hope. Despite the years lost and the challenges he continues to face, his demeanor has been one of strength and positivity. He has spoken about the importance of staying hopeful and the support he received from his family and legal team, which played a crucial role in his journey towards exoneration and rebuilding his life thereafter. The path forward for Anthony Broadwater is one of continued healing and advocacy. His story, while deeply personal, resonates with broader themes of justice, resilience, and the human capacity to overcome adversity. Broadwater's life post-exoneration serves as a poignant reminder of the long-term impacts of wrongful conviction and the importance of providing support and resources to those who have been exonerated. The exoneration of Anthony Broadwater has not only shed light on the frailties of the justice system but has also sparked significant calls for reform. The case has become a catalyst for discussions about potential legal changes and initiatives aimed at preventing wrongful conviction and ensuring fairer judicial processes. One of the primary calls for reform is in the area of forensic evidence. The Broadwater case highlighted the limitations and potential for error in forensic techniques like hair analysis. As a result, there has been a growing demand for the adoption of more scientifically robust and reliable methods, such as advanced DNA testing. Advocates are calling for regular reviews and updates of forensic standards to ensure that the evidence used in trials is accurate and reliable. Another significant area of proposed reform is in eyewitness identification procedures. The misidentification in Broadwater's case has led to calls for more stringent and scientifically informed methods of eyewitness testimony collection. This includes reforms in police lineup procedures, such as the implementation of double-blind lineups where the officer conducting the lineup doesn't know the suspect's identity. There's also a push for educating juries about the potential fallibility of eyewitness accounts, helping them understand the psychological factors that can affect memory and perception. Additionally, there is a broader call for systemic changes to address potential racial biases within the justice system. This includes training for law enforcement and legal professionals on implicit bias, as well as the implementation of policies aimed at reducing racial disparities in arrests, prosecutions, and sentencing. Moreover, the case has highlighted the need for better support structures for the wrongfully convicted post-exoneration. This encompasses legal, financial, and psychological support to help exonerees reintegrate into society and rebuild their lives. Proposals include the establishment of state compensation funds and support services tailored to the unique challenges faced by individuals who have been wrongfully imprisoned. The calls for change in the wake of Anthony Broadwater's exoneration reflect a growing awareness of the need for continuous improvement and vigilance in the justice system. They underscore the importance of not only rectifying past injustices but also of implementing reforms to prevent future miscarriages of justice. The case has become a touchstone in the ongoing dialogue about how to create a more equitable and reliable judicial process. As we reach the conclusion of this story, the case of Anthony Broadwater and the decades-long journey that led to his exoneration, I find myself reflecting on the profound implications it holds for our society and our understanding of justice. This case serves as a powerful reminder of the fallibility of the justice system. It underscores the crucial need for continuous vigilance, scrutiny, and reform in our legal processes. The wrongful conviction of Anthony Broadwater, based on now discredited forensic evidence and a flawed identification process, highlights the potential for error and the devastating impact such errors can have on individual lives. But beyond its commentary on the justice system, this story speaks volumes about the resilience of the human spirit. Anthony Broadwater's unwavering assertion of his innocence and his tireless fight for justice, even in the face of overwhelming odds, is a testament to the strength and perseverance inherent in the quest for truth and fairness. It reminds us that, despite the challenges and imperfections of our systems, there is always room for hope and the possibility of rectification. This case also prompts a deeper reflection on the role of society in shaping narratives and perceptions of justice. The impact of Alice Sebold's memoir Lucky and the subsequent media coverage on public opinion about the case illustrates the powerful influence of storytelling and media in our understanding of legal matters. It serves as a reminder of the responsibility we all share in seeking and portraying the truth, especially in cases that intersect with the legal system. In conclusion, the story of Anthony Broadwater's wrongful conviction and eventual exoneration is more than just a legal case. It's a narrative about the complexities of justice, the challenges of navigating truth, and the enduring pursuit of fairness. It calls on us to not only be aware of the imperfections of our justice system but to actively participate in its betterment. It urges us to empathize with those who have been wronged and to support efforts that ensure such injustices are corrected and, more importantly, prevented in the future. This case has left an indelible mark on our collective consciousness, challenging us to reflect, question, and strive for a justice system that truly embodies fairness and integrity.